Hello my friends and welcome back to another short War and These 2 campaign to keep us all entertained while we await the Patreon vote as to which game I'm going to do a full campaign on. Is it going to be decisive campaigns or is it going to be War and These 2? And while we are staying entertained, we are going to play the other introductory scenario. This is after I have learned how to do airstrikes in this game, and boy, is it fun! I can't wait to share with you how airstrikes are done in this game. So, I don't even want to wait. Let's go straight in. I already looked over this scenario a few times while I was learning, although I haven't actually played a turn in it yet. I was just learning how to set airstrikes after my inability to set any in my first introductory campaign. And so here we are. So this is the mission. So in this mission, oh, by the way, I switched. Remember at the end of the last episode, I switched to non-NATO counters, which has left me with kind of quirky little Microsoft Paint icons for my units. But hey, anyway, that's not the biggest deal. So, here's the mission. I'm just scrolled right out. We got to take all this territory, and we have 2 turns to do it in. 2 turns. That's all you get. So this is the mission that is supposed to introduce the concept that you can cross huge distances in a very short amount of time in this game. Now, quite how is sort of beyond me because, I mean, ignoring the Dnipro, which is over there somewhere, there it is, there's loads of bad terrain and rivers in Russia proper, and it does not have, like, the greatest infrastructure, so I'm not quite sure how much time a turn is meant to represent, but the idea that you would just do this distance in 2 turns is kind of crazy for any other game I've ever played. I mean, if you had perfect road terrain in Panzer Corps type games, and you used something that was fast, like a recon car, I could probably say you would move 8 tiles a turn. So that's like, let's call that 8. I'm not quite sure if it is 8, but it's difficult to see. So let's say that's 8 more. So at the most you would get about here in 2 turns if you literally drove in a straight line. Now, there is a strategic movement in this game, which is this number here, which I think some of my elements have got, maybe just at the start of the actual ground phase though, and not right now. But anyway, it's still somewhat of a mystery to me how you calculate how much movement units have got, but I presume that obviously they would not give you this scenario if it were not possible, so it's possible. Right. Airstrikes. Since we're in the airstrike phase, let's talk about airstrikes. So in the previous campaign, if you want to call it that, I could not work out how to do airstrikes. I guessed from the interface that I just tried to set up a recon mission, that I would click this, which is the recon directive, and then this menu appears on the side. This is air forces that are capable of doing what you asked. So the Luftflotte, number 2 here. By the way, I'm gonna pronounce the German words in Norwegian because I understand Norwegian, and Norwegian is a Germanic language. So that's gonna be the closest I get to good pronunciation. But I don't speak German, so, you know, it's gonna be Fliegerkorps and Luftwaffe and so on, because That's how Norwegians pronounce it, and it is a Germanic language, so it's not too far from wrong. But I'll just get that out of the way right now. I'm going to pronounce the German stuff in Norwegian because it's obviously it's being a Germanic language, it's very close. Unlike English, which is nothing like it in pronunciation. So, well, but anyway, you'll have to forgive Germans out there. Will have to forgive my pronunciation, but at least I'm trying. So this is the Air Force that can do what I ask, which is fine. So we select that, and then, having selected that, we've got this giant box here. What that means, I'm not quite sure, because I mean there are parts of this Air Force here and here and here and so on and so forth. So. The only thing I can think of is that the HQ is like in the center here somewhere, but I don't see the HQ. I think this is the HQ, which is down here. Anyway, so let's say I want to do a reconnaissance mission, which would be ideal to do, say, over this enemy troop concentration here, or on this front line area here, or maybe like around here somewhere. I don't know. Okay, so let's go for this HQ here. Okay. So there is my my recon mission set up. It's if I click the auto button, it just disappears. So that's obviously not what I'm meant to do. Now I've actually lost my setup. So okay, that wasn't what I was supposed to do. Okay, so I'm gonna click this again, and I'm gonna click where I wanted to reconnoiter, which was here. Okay. Now I've got a box again, but it's a bigger box this time. Oh, it might be remembering what I did last time, potentially, which would be weird because that was on a totally separate game. But anyway, here are the settings for the directive. So you can see here, this is my target hex, and this is my area. 3 by default. So I can change this to, like, I don't know, 6, for example, and the area gets bigger. Now, what bugs me about this is that the area is a square. Why is it a square? It's a hex-based game. So why isn't it a circle? It's mind-boggling to me. Why is it a square and not a circle? I don't get it. In a hex-based game, hexes make neat, if somewhat, jagged, circles. So surely a radii in a hex game should be a circle, but no, it's a square, which makes it kind of awkward to fit on a hex-based map. You then have this schedule, which I can only presume, since there are 24 hours in a day and there's seven things to select here, that each one represents 3 hours of the day. Because if you divide the number of hours in the day by 7, you get by 3, you get 7. So that is my thought. We can see here that there's all kinds of other stuff like altitude and priority, and to find out what these things do, you're going to have to examine the manual. But anyway, I'm going to go for a high intensity air reconnaissance. And then, I'm looking at this and I just can't figure it out. Because, and believe me, I spent 10 minutes trying to, well, more than 10 minutes. I probably spent 10 minutes reading the manual, trying to figure out how to actually accept this, test directive that I'm setting up. And what you actually have to do is scroll down here. These are scrollable. The actual confirmation is here. Not like it's not a special pop-out box or whatever, or it's not this, or there isn't like some dialogue down here that says confirm or any, it's here, hidden in a... I almost didn't understand that these were scrollable dialogues. But they are. So then you click confirm and you confirm your air directive. And now, now your air directive is set. And you can see your other air directives here. They are doing reconnaissance in the other. This one's reconning at the top and this one's reconning at the bottom. This is why I wanted to set up one in the middle, because why not? Anyway, the rest of the stuff is all set by the scenario, and I presume that it's reasonable. So, but that's how you do it. That is how you do it. Now the actual HQs themselves. This is one down here. Which is proving difficult to get to. I guess I need to set to no air directives selected, and then actually select the HQ, except it looks like the HQ has disappeared. Which is... oh, I can get it. Here we go. So now I have this selected, and now I can set these mixed missions is fine. Normal priority is fine. We want our air bases to advance. I think we have 2 air HQs. I think. And this is all the stuff that's under the air HQ. This is all the planes, all the groups. It's not just 1 air HQ, is it? I thought it was 2. So you can see that actually some of these are set individually. So some of these are already set to advance as a specific setting. Or actually, it's probably just cascaded down from there, actually, to be fair. But yeah, that's it. So I've successfully managed to set an air directive, and that basically the AI is going to do everything for me based on my parameters. So you actually have very, very little control over your air power. Surprisingly little control over it. You're just going to give a general area and some general orders, and it's going to do generally what you asked. And yeah, it's interesting to me, because one of the main sort of big things about this kind of game is the idea that you just have like an exquisite level of control, but I don't feel like that is the case here. I'm more just telling my generals what to do, and they're doing it. Not me specifically saying, you know, okay, here's the information that I've got. I want this group of tanks destroyed. I want this group of tanks destroyed. I want this group of tanks destroyed, and this one, because these tanks could ruin my day. So let's obliterate these. And then we're going to kill this and kill this and kill this and exploit this gap and get in here and then, you know, come down and surround all of this. Something along those lines, you know, and I will make directions for my air power to, you know, destroy these units and scout this area and so on. I mean, you probably could do that if you made lots of tiny air directives that sit on just exactly 1 hex. But then I'm not really entirely sure how the distribution of forces is going to occur during the game, because you have a maximum number of directives that you're allowed to assign, and also planes are going to be spread out amongst those directives. So anyway, that is how you set air directives. And now we're going to execute them. Alright, lots of pictures are being taken. High intensity carpet photography. What is going on? I have no idea. It's a bit of a mystery to me. But we're going to get a report in the near future, so I hope. And then we will know if our scouting was successful. I can't do anything. I can't move the screen. We just gotta sit here and wait. Okay. So let's have all the detail from the recon missions as well. I want to know just what happened. Right, we're in the ground phase, and can I get a show air recon levels? Okay. I'm going to presume that these dark areas are areas that I know nothing about, and that these bright areas are areas I know everything about. Okay, is there a report? It's got to be a report, right? There's always a report. Information screens. Let's see. Logistics, commander's report, air doctrine screen, air directive summary. Okay, these patrols did a lot of damage to the enemy. Aircraft lost 142, damaged 65. Enemy aircraft lost in combat 130, damaged 11. Considering this is all ground attack and recon, that makes sense, right? I didn't do any air superiority stuff. What I'm struggling to understand is how much this reconnaissance has actually helped me. But anyway, whatever. The recon is complete. Let's push on with the scenario. So, okay, so many of these infantry units are, even marching in a straight line in completely uncontested territory, are not going to they're not going to make it to over here. So that means that the tanks are the only units that can make it. So that means that we need to concern ourselves with not using the tanks, only using the infantry to break this front line. What was this, cavalry? Defender CV 0.1. Alright, cavalry, go. Oh, looks like the Russians are taking immense aircraft losses here. Alright, they were routed. Oh, they just surrendered? Huh, I just walked next to them and they surrendered. Come back. I want to be your friend. Alright, I did not know that this was a thing, but apparently just moving around makes certain units break. That's interesting. Okay, well, I'm sure the loss of that HQ will certainly make life more interesting for my enemies. So I'm moving units from the rear forward because you want to start with the units that are furthest. This is like extension strategy 101, but you want to start with the units that are furthest away and move those first. Okay. Goodbye, machine gun battalion. Right, there's a couple of HQs over there which I would just love to introduce myself to. But let's conserve our tanks for when the roads are clear. Is that reachable? Would we say that's reachable? Defender CV 23. Wow, that is overpowering. That's still overpowering, but that'll do. I'm behind you. Hunt 301st AA surrenders. Brest Depot is captured. That was easy. Is that HQ is not there? I guess. Right, so let's move this infantry unit, which is further away. Let's go straight after their HQ. I'm not sure what the cost difference between a deliberate attack and a fast attack is. But anyway, it's a defenseless HQ, so let's just do a fast attack. And the bombing. Okay, they were routed. So far, so good. Now, what do we got back here? This is like mechanized. That's one of my units that can actually push. This is a tank, so that's obviously going to be able to push. Let's go with infantry units. This one can reach about here and still be useful. And on its own, it's enough. Your souls will fuel my Hellforge. Or something. Two surrendered, one retreated. Happy days. What else is under this HQ? What is this? Army Field Group Center. Motorized Corps. What is this? Army Field Group Center. Road Construction Battalion. Construction Battalion. Labor Group. Okay. That is probably what you want to send to towns and cities to get them going. Maybe like send it to Corbin or something where it can make use of the depot. Right, anyway, we'll worry about that later. So these are all tanks. This is an infantry division with not a lot of movement to it. Can't get there. Let's get some hasty killing done. Toasty! Run! Run for your lives. And look at that, I still had enough movement left to threaten. Okay. What else have we got here? These are all tank divisions, we're going to save them till last. Infantry division. See, I don't know how many points you require to actually attack. I'm presuming that this little icon here means that you can attack. But I don't know. I mean, what is this? This is like some kind of roadblock or something. It's like a light infantry unit with some artillery and anti-tank. That's what it looks like. Get 'em. Okay, so now I know I said leave the tanks till last. I do have some tanks. This is like this is going to be a security division. I've got some like mechanized infantry that are miles away from the battle, but I would like to bring them up to stick the boot into these HQs because I know that's going to shatter Soviet morale. We got another enemy HQ or set of HQs up here. So since the road is fairly clear, let's get them. Would you look at that? They run away all the way over there. After them! Okay, they held. Barely. I think because I'm out of action points. That's fine. Let's send another gloriously armored unit up here. I love me some delicious HQs. Oh! They surrendered. Kind of funny that it appears on my side that they surrendered, but they did surrender. What are these? What's the other? This is like a 2-stack. What's the other thing in the 2-stack? That is not helpful. I'm just wondering if the other thing in the stack is a HQ. Well, apparently, whatever it is, it doesn't have much hope. Western Air Command. Oh, sweet. That's going to make their life really unhappy. Alright, they ran. And this tank division is actually within spitting distance of the objectives already. We still have a number of HQs lying around here. There's one down here. There's one over here. Murdering the HQs, of course, means that the guys over here will be without command, which will make them very, very sad. And also moving this infantry in such a way that I'm like crawling a wall around the back here just means that these guys are all going to be in a pocket, which is going to make them feel very sad. Okay, security division. Not super useful. But maybe it can get some work done. Maybe with a little help from an allied infantry regiment. Okay, Russians are losing planes left, right and center, which is to be expected. I'm going to try and break into the back here and hit the HQs. Oh, the artillery division surrendered. The funny part is they are a much bigger regiment than this security division, but they are in such a such a state of panic that this is actually a winnable fight for me. Let's go, boys. Alright, they were routed. Sad times. Border Guard detachment retreated. Alright, now this infantry regiment can walk right up to this big ball of enemy HQs. Okay, it looks like some of these HQs are no longer here, or have just run for the hills, which is understandable. Let's do a hasty attack and break this position quickly. Same for this one. Run, Forest, run! Are we ready for some serious capitulation? Oh wow, the tanks are really... like, these positions are just defenseless. It would seem. I am literally squeezing these guys into a ball right now. Okay, I can't hit them again with a deliberate attack. And I'm not going to risk it, so... you can see here, I'm literally just choking them. What I want to do is hit this HQ with infantry, but I need to free up this infantry for that task. That is a big ball of enemies. It would be a shame if something were to happen to it. The rifle division retreated, and the other one surrendered. Wow, there's a big stack of units retreated over there. Okay. They are toast. quite enough power there. That'll do. So this is like a compression sock technique, as it were, in that these two units here are effectively making them retreat up this way, which is what I want them to do. And then, of course, what I really want to do is slam their HQs. Major General has been killed. AA Regiment surrenders. Alright, we'll leave that one as is, because this is a little bit too tough for this regiment. I am now tightening the noose. Why did the HQ come along? Weird. Oh well, whatever. Let's go. Slams away. See ya. I'm going to suggest that morale is pretty low in their army right now. Okay, we're going to leave it there because it's actually been 45 minutes already. Would you believe it? But as you can see, I've busted a massive hole in their lines, and all of my tanks, all of my frontline tanks, are as of yet unutilized, which is exactly how I want it to be. Just before I leave it there, let's put that there like that. It is exactly how I want it to be, so that these tanks can rush forward and do some big sweeping motions. You can see a great number of retreating enemies and retreating HQs that are going to be perfect targets for my tanks. I may, you know, break some of these tanks out to actually go hunting here, like this HQ and this HQ. Some of these HQs are just sat there asking to be hit. Which is absolutely fine. One thing that kind of bugs me a little bit. It's not entirely obvious how much movement points units have got left. To me. But hey. I shall try and remember what I did in between now and the 5 minutes from now when I carry on playing. But that is it for now. So I hope you guys enjoyed it and will join me as I will continue to play this game. I do like games where one turn roughly takes about some easy amount of time to play, like 45 minutes for one turn, or half that, 20 minutes a turn, and you get a couple of turns in. But this is going to have to be staggered phases because it's there's so much to do. But anyway, we'll cut up here, kill these HQs, which are all stacked up here, and just asking to be shut down while continuing to make this little line of units, this line of utilized units, and thus giving these guys nowhere to go. And then we'll break out the tanks like the special forces units that they are, to go out into the world looking for trouble. To that end, we want to get as much of the map as possible as well, so that they can take the best possible pathways to where we want to be. I don't know if to win I have to take all of these or just some of them. I guess it's kind of a points system. The point system, I think, includes casualties and such, so brutalizing the enemy and destroying all of their units is probably a good slice of the points. But anyway, that's it for now. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time.